Happy Gemini new moon tarot lovers. These will be love readings for all of us, for each of the 12 signs, for the time surrounding and following this Gemini new moon in May 2020. Specifically, it is tomorrow, May 22nd, 2020. Not sure exactly what time it is. I feel like I heard it was early in the day my time, like early afternoon my time, which is New York time. We will get started with Gemini and do a short love reading for, again, all 12 signs. First, let's pull one card for the collective, though, and talk about the energy that has been coming through for the collective already regarding, again, love, our love lives, around and following this new moon, Gemini new moon. The Two of Cups comes through. In the Shadowscapes tarot deck, if I didn't say that to you already, that's what we'll get started with. And then we may stick with that one, but we'll switch it up if I feel like we need to. So far what's come through has been the Four of Swords, the Ace of Cups, and now we have the Two of Cups. And I was really feeling this energy of us needing to take time for ourselves, needing to take time to rest, to heal, to do some solemn contemplation, do some meditation, and certainly to do these things in isolation, to do these things without anyone else's opinion influencing you, and before making any decisions regarding love. But then we also, as I said, we also had the Ace of Cups come through after that, and now we see the Two of Cups, and the Seven of Pentacles did come through as well. So this is the second time I've seen it as well. So that doesn't mean that something isn't growing with someone, that there isn't a special bond on the way or even present for a lot of us. It's just that it needs to take its time to grow. And I think that for a lot of us, that is specifically for us. So we have some time for sort of recharging, recuperating, and a lot of us with the Four of Swords having come through a couple of times need to show gratitude in that space for the things, the people that have seen us through up until this point. And it does, again, look like there is this love understood on the table now. This this bond, this coupling. So if this isn't present for you, it definitely can be on the horizon, activated by this new moon energy. Something that happens that you do around this time may be the catalyst that dominoes into this. And I do think that this specific type of bond relationship that we see pictured here, it's often one where it is representative of opposites uniting. Masculine and feminine energy. Reflected and manifested in different ways. And so if you are still on the brink of this, if you are still calling it in, inviting it in, looking for it here, looking at love readings at this time because that's what you're looking for. And I think that's a lot of what this being here is saying about the collective too. Looking for messages about this connection, looking for this type of connection. Then, if it's still on the horizon, then it can be saying that that this type of uniting of masculine and feminine energy is happening within you. As a precursor, right? As something that's sort of just happening before, maybe preparing you for having that that relationship, that union externally. But we definitely see loving connection on the table immediately. And let's get started with Gemini. As far as looking at specific signs, Six of Cups is in reverse. So gems, you all may be very, very much, gem energy may be very, very much caught up in memories of the past, maybe specifically the recent past, actually. Connections and memories, nostalgia from your past, and maybe for many of you, connections that weren't necessarily worthy of you, gems. The Hangman is also here. So maybe a Piscean energy for you specifically, gems. And we see the Six of Swords as well, indicating that you will be finding this balance that you're clearly seeking, with two sixes showing up on either side of the Hangman, who has or is making some sort of sacrifice in order to gain some sort of insight, some sort of wisdom. But we do see with the Six of Swords that you're moving on to calmer emotional and mental states. And then on the bottom of the deck is the Nine of Chalices. Below that, the Ace of Cups, which I was saying we did see already for the collective. Okay. So yeah, for a lot of you, gems, this Six of Swords, well, this position really is talking about advice, guidance for you moving through this. And so you're dealing with a Pisces, or someone who is suspended in between you and someone or someone's else. And you probably know about that, or at least have a suspicion, have an inkling. Even, you know, they may be downright open about it. But you're advised to take yourself away from this chaos, this stress, if that's what is causing you, confusion, stress, chaos. Anything that's making you very hot, temperamental, or you know, or maybe you may be dealing with someone else who's very temperamental in the situation, maybe because of the situation. And definitely ask yourself that question, if this is someone who's worthy of your time and your energy anyway, of course. And this is about you self-love, you taking care of you, with the Nine of Chalices, sort of crowning the reading, overseeing the reading. This is like what it's all about on the bottom of the deck for us. And it may be just a Piscean energy Piscean individual here, or just a Piscean energy coming through here. So the thing is that this individual who's crossing you seems to, you know, need a new perspective. And it may be uncomfortable for you, especially at a time when you may have been seeking balance anyway, to revisit this connection, to revisit these memories, especially if you still, you know, have are very emotional about what transpired, very confused about what transpired, and or suspicion that they are, or maybe are still suspended in between you and someone else. And so for different gems, it may look different what you need to do to get yourself away from this chaos. As I said earlier, the Six of Swords is representing this mental and emotional sort of calm. And it may mean actually leaving. We see her flying away. And really allowing others here to care for and protect her or him. This may be maybe a him here. Either way. Allowing oneself to be nurtured by others at this time as you move through the space. It's in your advice position, right? Gems. So there may be some friends, family members, loving support around you who sees that you need to, at least for a time, seek balance and calm away from this chaos, this stress, this individual, if it's connected to them, in order to do what's best for you. And it may feel like worrying and nagging and criticizing and be bothering and bugging you, that they're, aware of this and speaking what they think you need to do, but they are trying to care for you, again, nurture you. And if someone can really get you away from the situation, listen to your intuition about that. That may be the move to make. That may be the move that is advised here, especially if it's one where you have to take flight in order to make it happen. So to take off quickly or to fly to get there. Or especially if your intuition is saying, yes, this is what that means. And I think this Ace of Cups is talking about a new love, potential for a new crush. Open communication, sharing with someone. Someone likely more stable, secure, grounded. Someone much more grounded as opposed to where this hangman is at in his life at this time, right? And he is gaining insight and wisdom, and he does have other company. It looks like plenty of other female company. Well, I want to say company of the opposite sex. It's just how it's appearing here. Yeah, he has plenty of other company. It does look like a man hanging in women, sort of fairies, pixies, little, and in the tree as well. But yeah, so I think he's gaining the insight that he needs. And if this is your energy, if you need this insight, if you do need to look back on these memories and this connection, no matter how, or regardless really of how uncomfortable it may be, then that is a different story. Then in that case, you allow yourself to do that in order to move forward to a calmer mental and emotional space, having sat with these things, given yourself the time to reflect on, to meditate on, the time and space away from certain things in order to reflect, which really That may be what's happening for two people here, actually, gems, as well. You may be in memories and, you know, feeling nostalgic for someone from the past, but both of you may be taking a time from one another. And, you know, this hanged man is actually serene and at peace, even though, you know, he or she may appear to be martyred, is often a message that comes through with the hanged man. So, and we see that here. We see that he's enjoying his surroundings. He looks at peace. He looks content. He looks beyond patient, comfortable even in that position, questioning things, certainly, but enjoying having time to do so, and not in bad company, not misunderstood by those he's surrounding himself with. So if that isn't your energy, then that may be the energy that the other person is in, gems. But needless to say, I think this all results in at least the two of you, taking time and space. You and someone else taking time and space, or you needing to take time and space personally before embarking on anything new with anyone else, because you have these memories, these maybe painful, but certainly kind of confusing memories from the past here. You actually, and you may be feeling a need to escape your current situation because of maybe memories from the past, or because of anything. And in that case, you know, you may be sort of you're either in a situation with the Pisces or someone who's really sort of already, things have already kind of ended with them in your mind and in your heart, but it may just need to be communicated still. So that's just for some gems specifically, and needless across the, or regardless across the board. It's about taking care of yourself with the Nine of Chalices here on top. Doing your job, your work to make sure that you are emotionally satisfied if you are not. If there are memories that need to be faced that are plaguing you, if there's someone that you're missing and you need to understand and deal with why, and maybe deal with why, as we said, away from them, even if they don't necessarily want to be away from you. Yeah. But this is letting yourself have what you want. Maybe that means, giving yourself what you need and letting yourself have what you want. And maybe for some of you, that means transitioning away from someone, being honest about being nostalgic for a type of connection that doesn't seem present now, needing some time, needing some space at the very least. Feeling called and drawn elsewhere, away. Or at least honest enough to remove yourself from the situation, right? Because there may already be a new crush, a new love, or there may just be this notion, this belief in a new emotional beginning existing for you, gems. Though you haven't necessarily found it yet, you just believing that there's that connection that's more grounded for you. But with that, we will let yours be the longest love message. These were supposed to be short. We'll let yours be the longest, since it is Gemini season now. Happy birthday, gems. And we will move right along to Cancer next. I have so much love for you, gems, and I look forward to doing another reading for you soon. Hi, Cancers. These are your short love messages for the time surrounding and following the Gemini new moon. Knight of Air on the bottom of the deck. After shuffling and meditating for you, Ace of Pentacles here. So yeah, Cancerians, it does seem like someone related to your love situation may be very focused, maybe making plans, maybe speaking so directly and honestly that he or she is a little insensitive, but we'll see what else comes through for you. We're just going to pull 3 cards. I'm sure we are looking at a lot of Venus retrograde and Gemini energy. King of Cups is your first card out. Let's look at this. So this can be a card representing Cancerian energy. It is the first card out representing you and or the connection. We see, and you know, it can be who you're dealing with here. Absolutely. Can be you or who you're very focused on, or maybe speaking about the connection. It's likely you or them showing up as a court card in one of these 2 positions in this reading, in the first or second position in this reading. So Cancer energy or Scorpio energy or Pisces energy, emotional energy, but very, very reserved emotional energy, mature emotional energy. This masculine energy is one that has mastered his or her emotions. And when I say, you know, reserved, I also mean diplomatic, and yes, observative, in that they are observative of their own and others' emotions, and then very respectful of them as well, very mindful of them. And so this individual represented here with the King of Water, so this is someone who feels fully, but they do not always express all of that, right? And this person whom this is representing certainly does express his or her truest desires, but is very picky about when and to whom, because of their emotional intelligence. Then you have the Page of Swords. Not surprised to see that with the with having had the Knight of Swords that started you out, right? So back to that King of Water, though. You know, I often see, well, it's just someone who's very in touch with their emotions. And because it's someone who's very in tune with their emotions, it can absolutely be an artist. It's often a musician. So this might be you, or again, someone that you're dealing with, interacting closely with in regards to your love life, thinking about heavily in regards to your love life. And then the Queen of Pentacles. And on the bottom of the deck, the Ten of Fire. Ten of Wands, but it is in reverse. We'll put this up here for you. Okay. And below that, the Star card. Is the major arcana that we'll see here, Cancerians. Yeah, so again, this King of Cups going to be, this individual going to be very mindful, very respectful, very careful about who they share their true emotions with, express themselves fully with. Likely for a lot of you Cancerians, this is you, whether you're male or female. You are a master of your emotions in this sense. Maybe you are an artist in this sense. And if not, you're very focused on someone like this. And so it's, it can be flip-flop, but it's really coming through as Cancerians primarily. And then we also see a character here who has a difficult truth to deliver, or a truth to share that is difficult to share. So that may be whom you're dealing with. And I don't know why I'm saying it like that. I think I've heard it said like that in readings that I resonate with and that I like, and it's easy. But I don't necessarily mean that that makes it almost sound like it's burdensome to be interacting with them, right? But so that may be who your mind and heart is focused on. Or that may be you. That may be the reason why you're not involved with anyone more deeply or at all, right? Because you are sort of just keeping something to yourself, just haven't figured out how to share something about yourself with someone, or if you want to. And I think this is all about relieving yourself of that burden. Or if this is whom you're dealing with, maybe if this is who you're focused on, maybe it's them relieving themselves of a burden, needing to speak something to you. They may be needing to take some kind of a break when we see the Ten of Wands in reverse, the Ten of Fire in reverse, or it may be Cancerians communicating that to someone else. Absolutely can be the other way around. Either way, we see the advice card here as the Queen of Pentacles. I do think, though, that this Page of Swords, the Page of Air here, in this reading, in this instance, is telling us that keeping this truth is or would be toxic for this individual. So it's the message is more so that a difficult truth is going to have to be spoken. It's coming out around this time very soon. And it's about somebody, just being authentic, being their themselves and expressing that, yes. Being honest about about who they are, being honest and with someone else, with the other. But I think they, you know, they've just had experiences that are making them, you know, that are making it so difficult to share their truth. They've been hurt in in their past connections when they've done that. But it's toxic for them, again, to keep it in, whether that's you or them. And so this is coming out, and it looks... if you are hoping that you found someone you can share your truth with, even though you've been hurt when you've done that in the past, or you're looking for that, I see that there's this purity of heart here in an earthy individual, likely a feminine individual, a feminine energy, and an earthy energy. So maybe primarily identified for you as a Taurus, Capricorn, and or Virgo, or maybe just someone who is very grounded, and or hardworking, and or a good teacher, and or very organized, you know, all of these things, many of these things, or they, you know, really capitalize on one of them, likely something like that. So this is someone, if you're looking, or if for an opportunity to share your truth, this is someone in your environment or coming into your environment who it seems like it's a good bet for you to do that with. It seems like a healing experience for you. This seems to have a lot to do with needing to ground because of being detached from your roots, or because you're going to hear something from someone that you're close to. That uproots you, or has to do with their roots, something like that. There's so much about grounding, and then this message of being uprooted actually coming through with the 10 of fire here. So you are advised toward that individual if you are looking for someone to share certain parts of yourself. Again, it looks like it's toxic to keep this in. It looks like, you know, if that describes the person that you are focused on at this time, then then yes, you have found a good person to share these parts of you with. It is safe to try to do that again. If not, and you're dealing with someone who is delivering this truth, it can be toxic for them to keep in, they need to share this part of themselves, then it can be that you need to ground yourself so that you can be receptive to this again. It may have to do with them having been uprooted in some way, or what they share with you may uproot you in some way, or be about the fact that they are going to need to leave. So you're advised then to focus on, you know, your health in the ways that you can, your space, your, you know, organizing and grounding, your relationships, even your finances, your work, your physical day-to-day, tangible, touchable, 3D reality, what makes you feel safe, secure, grounded, connected, loved, involved, interactive, right? All those things, so that when this news that must come out finds its way to you, that that you're ready for it, that you're grounded and ready for it. So you're either looking at delivering a difficult truth, that type of message to someone who will be receptive and ready for it, to someone who you hope is in that energy, or you're needing to move into that energy, right? So that's what we see coming through for you, Cancerians. With the Star card, the message as well that this is going to be a lengthy and deep healing for the individual who is speaking their truth, wielding their truth, owning and living their truth. I sense at long last. Whether that takes them away from you in any sense or brings them closer to you, Cancerians, if it's not you, it's necessary. Whether, it's necessary for whomever needs to get that truth out, and fully realize it externally as well. So with that, yeah, we will go ahead and move forward. It was a little bit longer than I meant for it to be. Aren't they always? And I look forward to doing another reading for you, Cancerians. I hope you truly make the most of this Gemini new moon energy. And I have so much love for you. Bye, Cancerians. Hi, Leo. We do see the Four of Pentacles to start you off, but we will see what else comes through for you regarding love messages surrounding and following this Gemini new moon. I truly hope you are all making the very most of this energy. Leos, if you are interested in personal readings, information can be found down below in the description box. Page of Pentacles now. Four of Swords. So I feel like you've had 3 fours because the collective got, well, it was the Four of Swords, wasn't it? The collective got the Four of Swords. Now you see it again. And then you also had the Four of Pentacles show up on the bottom of the deck after I had shuffled and meditated with your, on your energy, Leos. So 4, 44, 444 might be particularly significant for you, might hold additional messages for you. But we're looking at you investing investing your energy somewhere, investing in your security, protecting your boundaries, taking time for yourself, taking time for healing, recuperating, any kind of energetic healing that's needed, getting in touch with self, isolating to an extent, contemplating without other influences on you from anyone or anything else outside of yourself, showing gratitude for those things at the same time, those things, those people that have seen you through up to this point, and as you reflect on what all has brought you to your present state of being. Is that you, or is that someone close to you that's in that place, Leos? You may have invested a lot of time and energy and effort, resources even, into someone who is now in that state that we've just described. And you may feel very connected to it, and as if you are ready to, or even beginning to, retreat into a similar energy to sort of join them in that, to truly be together as you are alone, to be going through, to consciously choose to go through the same type of healing and incubation period, connecting with self in that again, isolated and contemplative way specifically. Great with a grateful heart. An open mind, surely. The Nine of Pentacles flips out. We will take this and just take a look at what's beneath it. The Five of Pentacles is also there. Seven of Swords. We see the King of Cups. And the Sun card here is reversed. So this can be your energy here, the Sun card, Leo. Potentially seeing some lack, potential lack due to theft. Let me focus this for you. Bottom of the deck then. Seven of Cups. So we also have two sevens here. So yeah, you or someone close to you may have at some point in their past, maybe recently, simply felt without because someone has been dishonest with them. Maybe they stole something from them or just stole something from them in a sense, right? You or someone close to you again, but I do see that it's likely that well, if it was you, you know, with the Sun card reverse that we saw, Leo, you know, you just weren't feeling very much like yourself after that. It's likely whoever needs this, again, incubation period, this period for rest, reflection. And whether it's you or someone close to you, your advice here is to enjoy your independence. Do show gratitude for all the small pleasures and joys that make your reality, well, at the very least, comfortable, tolerable, bearable. But beyond that, right? Enjoyable, inviting, peaceful, productive, efficient, whatever it is that you can highlight that does work about where you are, or you know, where you are, who you are, what you have, just as you independently on your own. And that doesn't mean that you necessarily aren't still with this individual, you know, that will be different for each of you. But it would just depend, you know, whomever it is that needs this time away, and it may be both people involved here. They either weren't feeling like themselves or just weren't happy at all, weren't able to be genuine and fully, authentically expressive with their emotions after they were hurt and felt like they were without because they were hurt because someone was dishonest with them. So, yeah, it will just depend how much time that individual needs, how much space, how much time, how unsure they are. And again, it really may be something that both of you need, whether you're consciously aware of that or not. You're urged here to enjoy your independence. So don't feel guilty if you're the one communicating that you need it. And don't miss the opportunity to take advantage of that if you're the one who feels maybe you've invested too much to sort of let go at this point in some sense. The fact of the matter is that it is not, really up to you. And we do see the Strength card here. You needing to maybe tame your desire for this individual, for this other individual involved. And I do think that someone has been in and out of the picture. The Knight of Fire coming through. Which may be why, part of this story at least, maybe part of this story, that is part of the path that has led to this point where now we need time just for healing and space. And again, that may be someone from yours or their past. It may not have anything to do with the actual interaction or the actual connection that's on the table, but it might be the one that is in someone's mind or heart and affecting them from the past. The Seven of Cups was on the bottom of the deck. Seven of Water there is sort of an overview message. And what I'm getting from this version of the Seven of Chalices in this reading is that this is about someone envisioning their fantasy, choosing what it is that they really want. What path do they want to walk? What future do they want to create for themselves? And likely they know they have many options in front of them. Yes, but this is about, this isn't about looking at all of the different options that are readily available to them, that are speaking up and pointing themselves out already at this point in their lives. It's more about them knowing that they have nearly infinite potential and possibilities in front of them, and taking time to really connect with what it is that they want to choose, because there are just so many options. If they can create and manifest whatever destiny and future and life they want, and they're very much aware of that, then they need a pause, a moment, a period of time to consider and to create that picture. And even if you're the one, Leos, who has invested here and feels, I've invested a lot of time and invested a lot of energy, so I'm just sort of watching and waiting waiting and watching this pot to see when it's going to boil. Really, if it's not you, then I think you should be doing the same thing that this individual is doing. And yeah, I want you to be able to see a little bit more of that as well. Yeah, if it's not you, then I think you should be doing a lot of the same. And so when they create their fantasy, when either of you create this picture of your of what you truly desire, what you truly want, of life as you would have it, would see it, would build it, ideally. Not so that you can, obsess about getting to that, but so that you can get as close to it as possible. Do what you can with what you have where you are now, right? And see if this other person fits into the picture. You may feel like you already know that, or vice versa. But I think the truth is, and whomever is saying they need this time, both of you should be doing the same. So I think we will leave it at that for your new moon in Gemini love reading, Leos. And I have so much love for you, truly. I hope some needed insight was able to reach you here. And I can't wait to do another reading for you just as soon as possible. Until then, take care.